off with the lines that we can write here at Brokerage. The first one up is going to be your dwelling. Now, this can be written through both American Honors and Foremost. So this is going to be your like seasonal home, your mobile homes, and it'll also include your off-road vehicles, which is going to be golf carts, snowmobiles. And with these two carriers, they are going to require an appointment. Now, you will hear me mention the word appointment throughout today's presentation. With our carriers, you as captive country agents will have to become appointed or contracted with several of our carriers in order to write the service method. So hear me say that, that's what that means. But these two carriers do require an appointment, which is going to be just about a 1 to 2 business day turnaround time. Brokerage can also offer flood insurance, which is going to be written to Bright Flood. And this will cover your federal flood coverage and private flood coverage. So with this company, it's also going to require an appointment, which is just a couple day turnaround time. Now, the one thing I want to point out about Bright Flood is that commissions will be paid directly to you versus coming through Brokerage. So that's just a little tidbit there about the flood. Brokerage can also offer watercraft, and that is going to be available through Anchor Marine. So this is going to be the personal line watercraft, which would be your boat and your yacht owners. I wish I owned a yacht, that was cool. It'll also include, floating homes, boat houses, and then from the commercial line side of that, that will be your charters. So like the charter operators, your yacht club, boat broker dealers, and also marinas and boat yacht builders. So that will cover those as well. Now, unlike the other couple carriers I mentioned, Anchor Marine actually does not require an appointment. So you'll be able to quote that immediately through our Aviator website. Bill, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was curious if Foremost still does boats and motorcycles.
I believe they do. I will double check the carrier guidebook, but yes, I believe they do.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. All right, and one of the last personal lines that we offer here in Brokerage is going to be your collector and high value vehicle. So that's the Hagerty, which will be your antique and classic vehicles. This would include, modified vehicles, street rods, low riders, stuff like that for the classic. And with Hagerty, it does require an appointment, which is just a couple day turnaround time as well. So, with all that said, all lines of business, you will have access to Aviator to look at the portals. You will have access to those portals once you're appointed, and you can look at underwriting guidelines and appetite guides as well. Bill, great question. I will verify that for you. Are there any other questions before I move on? Does it look like it? Okay, all right. So moving forward with commercial lines, and actually I think I just saw Andrew. Did you have a question?
Yeah, and I might jump here a little bit, but how does it work if I'm working with a client, first clients, commercial, a lot of moving parts, but one thing they do have that I don't consider fall in the country is a antique vehicle. It's like a 1956 Ford F-100. I don't think it falls within the guidelines. They do currently have it through Hagerty. So what are our capabilities? If I take over everything else, is it just as simple? Can I just do an AOR?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So if and that's a great question. So if you have a client or group or whatever it is with a different broker, we can do a BOR form. So like a broker of record change form. Each carrier is different, so you would want to email a member of our P&C team or the finance team as well, whatever the product is, and we can pull the proper broker record form for whichever policy they essentially, once that's completed, then everything will move under you, and then you'd be able to service that book. Or. Wonderful. All right, well, I will move on to our commercial products here. And again, this is just not everything we have, but kind of more of a more popular and a lot of what we write a lot of. So starting off for commercial lines, we do have a special event, sports and leisure, which is going to be written through K&K. And they will write various amounts of activities. So I'm not going to name every single thing, but they will write for like social club, your amateur sports teams and leagues, so like the band. They will also write dance instructors in schools. They will write personal training studios, martial arts programs. So they write a lot of special events. We write a lot of weddings as well, fall festivals, stuff like that. So don't ever hesitate, to reach out and check on that, but they do write a lot. With K&K, no appointment is required, so you would be able to start quoting this immediately once you have access to the website. Brokerage can also offer professional liability, which is going to be through his client. And again, they write a ton of different, occupations to cover that. So again, I won't name everything, but just a couple, to highlight, that's going to be your architecture, engineering services, your artisan contractors, which are going to be, your drywallers and, blacksmiths and plumbers. So those type of occupations, they will write, people in the financial services. So your accountants, your bookkeepers, marketing and PR, food truck, beverage cart providers. So again, they write a lot of professional liability as well. And just like K&K, no formal appointment is going to be required for this carrier either. Commercial auto brokerage can also write through Progressive. And with this one, that's going to cover your garbage trucks, buses, your long and short haul truckers through Progressive. So again, a lot of that commercial auto they will write. I do want to make note with this one, with Progressive, an appointment is required, and this one can take 4 to 6 weeks for a turnaround time. So again, 4 to 6 weeks to get appointed with Progressive. Don't wait to get appointed. I would say even after today's session or when you're done with training, go out to our Aviator website and we'll take a little tour here in a little bit, but go to the appointment instructions and just submit your appointment right away. So that way you have time to get that processed and then you're ready to go within a month or two. So you're ready for that client that walks through your door. And again, with all of these carriers I have listed today, along with others, you can explore Aviator, look at those portals, and have access to the appetite and underwriting guidelines as well. Are there any questions about commercial lines? Yeah. All right, so I will move on and talk about bonds. So brokerage can also write bonds. I told you we read a lot. Starting off with license and permit bonds. The first company you would have is going to be your CNA surety. So this is going to be your, if a client needs to do work for, a town or a village, they'll need to obtain that permit or license to do that work. No formal appointment is required with this company. We can also write lost title bonds, and this is going to be a bond required by the state for a client to abandon for their car or mobile home even. So with this one, there is an appointment required. It's about 1 to 2 day turnaround time with that company. And another top bond that we can write is going to be the notary bond, and exactly what it means. It's a bond required by the state for a client who wants to be a notary. This one also requires an appointment, just a couple day turnaround time here. And again, people have access on Aviator to look at those carrier portals, look at the underwriting guidelines. But I do want to make note that with all three of these companies that we have, if you don't have a preference on one of them, or maybe not sure which one the right for security, we can actually, help you with that. And we would then provide the recommendation for the type of bond you're looking for. So again, just to kind of highlight, we are here for you and in turn, in the end, here for your client. We want to get your client the coverage they're looking for. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to us and we'll all work together. Any questions before I completely switch gears? Okay. All right, so I'm going to completely flip now. So those are all more like direct market. So now I want to talk about your submitted market, which we talked about earlier. Now, with these, I won't go over every single step, but at a higher level, to do a submitted market, you will complete what's called an application or an intake form. Sometimes we call it like a quote request form. That's going to be on Aviator for you. Fill out the form. They're all fillable PDFs, so pretty simple. Just make sure the fields in red are all completed. That will then lead to Brokerage. We will evaluate that information, research what they're looking for and the coverages and the limits. And then we will then work with a carrier or a broker to then get you the quotes and the binding requirements in order to get your client the coverage they need. So all those requirements are going to be emailed to us and then we send it to the carrier. So there's a lot of kind of ping ponging, I would say, but again, that's what we're here for. We work with the carrier and then we will work with you as well until that coverage is issued or a policy is issued as well. Okay, so we talked about direct markets, submitted markets. I want to also highlight what Brokerage has to offer as far as exclusive offerings. So these are going to be offerings where countries cannot write them at all. So you have to come to Brokerage. So we have a lot of products on here. So I'll just kind of go over just a couple highlights for each one. Brokerage can offer disability insurance. And that's going to be income used to replace a portion of your client income if they're disabled due to accident or sickness. We can write that as well. We can also, within that product line, also write like person disability or business overhead expense. This is going to be, if someone owns a business, but they still need to keep the lights on and keep their subscriptions going, we can write coverage for the actual business as well. This is going to be a submitted market, so there will be that quote request form to fill out, and then we take it from there and we'll get you the quote. We can also offer long-term care coverage, and we write this through Mutual of Omaha. Now, this is going to be coverage that provides like nursing care or home health care for individuals who maybe can't perform daily activities, so something as simple as showering, maybe someone can't do. Or maybe they're required to visit or anything or bathing, whatever it is. We do offer the long-term care coverage. Now, with long-term care, I do want to point out that certification to sell this product is required. There is an 8-hour initial training, and then every 2 years, there's a 4-hour training that has to be completed. This even has to be completed before we can release the quoting system to you. So with the long-term care, the quotes are done online, but that certification has to be completed. So just FYI, just make sure that's done before you can, come to Brokerage for that. So with that, we call it a hybrid market because you do the quoting through the quote system, but then you will work with us for the application and underwriting until policy issuance. We can also offer both individual medical and group benefits as well. So it's going to be, your health coverage for either groups or clients. That will also include, dental, vision. Sometimes we write, short-term disability, long-term disability, specifically for a client or, a group as well. So we have a lot of products that we can write on the health market. Now, also, right, Medicare supplement, this is also gonna be through Mutual of Omaha. So this is gonna be, health coverage that helps pay for costs that Medicare won't be able to cover all. So it's kind of like a supplement to regular Medicare insurance A and B. So it'll help cover, co-pays, deductibles, hospital costs beyond what Medicare can cover. We can also offer trip interruption or cancellation insurance, and this is going to be through IMG Medical. And the great thing about this is it is pretty cheap from a cost perspective. They will cover your trip anywhere from 5 days up to 1 year. So they can write it, you're traveling out of the country. They will also cover, a multi-trip coverage, which you go to Europe, 1 month, and then a month later you're going to, I don't know, Asia or something. They will actually put that covered under one policy. So they write a lot of that. And that's going to cover, if there's a natural disaster where you're going, you have to cancel, or if there was a death in the family, you have to cancel the trip. So you want to cover those costs for that as well. Lastly, another existing offering is going to be your Mexican auto. And that is going to be the auto coverage for clients when they travel into Mexico and they use their own car. So if they're taking their own vehicle outside of the US into Mexico, even if it was rented, then that's going to help cover, medical payments if something were to happen, or give some legal assistance, travel assistance, and that carrier is going to be through international insurance. Now, I do want to see, are there any questions that I can help answer before we move on? Trying to read the chat box here real quick.
Yesterday, someone had talked about the group benefits, but brought that question up. I don't know if that person is in this session or not. So that was something that came up in our commercial training. And I definitely missed that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, maybe it was.
Okay, Jimmy, what can I help you with?
So for disability insurance, say like there's a doctor that he doesn't have quite enough insurance for his at work, but he wants to get more coverage. Is that something that a brokerage? Okay. Thank you.
Well, over 60% of their income. So like if he already has that 60% right now, we would be able to add more to that. But we can definitely look into that. Or if you submit that full request form, that is, put that on there that, has an existing, how much it has, including the monthly benefit and like elimination period. And we'll work with our brokers to see what we can offer.
Thank you.
Sure. Let's see, Andrew is GI capped at 25,000. So I have to check our carrier guidelines. We do have a carrier that would write, kind of higher limit. I don't know the exact cap, but I can look into that for you.
Well, looks like we've got a few more questions. Stacy, I see your hand up.
Well, my question yesterday was with the salons that have those tanning beds.
Yeah, and I did check into that. If I wasn't mistaken, it's a nail salon with a tanning bed. Yes, we can write that. It can all go under one policy. We do have carriers that can write that, and it kind of just depends on the state. But yes, we can write that, submit that through your antique one.
Not through brokerage, okay.
Correct, yes.
Thank you. Andrew?
Yes, I just want to double back on Jenna's question about the disability. When you say 60%, you're talking like capped at 60%, not just because their current benefits say 60%. It would have to be, they actually add 60% benefit based on their income. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it. Great question.
Vince, I thought your hand was up. Did you put it down?
Yeah,
Did your question get answered?
well, somewhat, but, no, I actually was, I'm sorry, I stepped away for a second, but I was the one that was asking about the group benefits on the hourly street, for a company or in a small business or anything like that. But I think we're gonna get a little more answer. how to set up that space, so that would, go ahead, hold on, so let on that.
Sure, well, and I can just, real quick highlight some of the benefits we do, right, small, mid-market and large group. So all the above, the smallest group we can write is gonna be two, so two people enrolling, and we can go up to 100 plus. The process will work differently between small and like mid-large market, but, that's something that we would handle here and work with you. But yes, we do write a lot of small businesses, farming operations, I would say insurance agent offices, we write a lot as well. So yes, we can write a lot of that.
Well, and as far as licenses, I may have missed the exact, step with, having something with. As far as moving the licenses, just your health license, get appointed to do that, or for you guys to like that. That's it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we just want to make sure you have your license health or health producer license along with your license, so that way you're prepared. And you would also need your PNC license. I'm sure most of you have it already. So usually having 4 lines, yeah, that would qualify you. And then if you come to brokerage, depending on what you're supposed to write, that carrier would require an appointment. Those instructions are outlined for you on Aviator as well, but we would work with you to get set up properly in order to write the business as well.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you.
You guys said, I saw, Bill? Yes, sir, what can I help you with?
You may answer this in the next few minutes, but on the compensation schedule, is the exclusive brokerage going to be paying more than just the brokerage as far as compensation?
It will not. So, or I should say, as far as the carrier has a commission schedule per product, but the split will be uniform with brokerage. So what I mean by that is like with the group benefits, for example, the split, no matter what, is gonna be 75% for the life of the policy. As far as what you would get paid individually, that's gonna depend on what the carrier is paying out per product line. You have a specific commission department or area in brokerage that does all of that. Have a specific, I'd have to reach out to them for that.
Oh, you answered the question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And one might come up later. Sarah, you're doing just such a great job answering all these questions. How thankful are we to have her on this call? So Nicole and I don't have to say, we'll have brokerage later, we'll have brokerage later. So thank you all so much for your questions and staying engaged. And thank you, Sarah, for being such a clear expert here. Nicole, let's proceed on. We're getting ready for my favorite part, outside the question and answer portion of our session together. But we're going to talk about now what all you can find in Aviator. So you have a context of why and when to work with brokerage. Let's talk about what is included in that Aviator system. Those applications and instant forms and appointment instructions. Sarah's already mentioned that now is the best time to get those appointments and to complete those applications. Because as you're starting out in your book of business, is it keeping you super duper busy yet? You want to make sure that you have all of those intake forms done at your appointments so you don't miss out on writing business later. So make sure that you take your time. I think Sarah said today after the session, if you're planning on wanting to write any type of commercial or long split call and getting appointed with Progressive, the time to do that is now, because it's going to take some time to get that appointment. So you'll find out how to do that Aviator. Book a business so that you're able to access the different offerings and aspects that brokerage has included. The personal and commercial lines eligibility list is part of that. Your nation list, that's also included in Aviator. The billing and commission structure, who doesn't want to know, what kind of money is available when you write these accounts to you. Contact information for how to reach out to brokerage, and then some website links that will help support your ability to serve your clients are included in there as well. Are there any questions about what you find in the Aviator before we get to the favorite part of the session? Okay, Sarah, I am going to then bring things back over to you to show us this Aviator.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mickey. So just to make sure you guys can see, okay, about it. I personally, like I said, I love our website. It's been revamped several times. So what Aviator is, it's our brokerage SharePoint. It has everything you need on it. Bank is available to you 24/7. So if it's Sunday morning and you're in your PJs drinking your coffee and you have a question that came up over email, you need to research that, hop over to Aviator and I'm sure you will find what you're looking for. If not, though, you'll be able to email us that next week. So Aviator, I think the easiest way to get there is gonna be from your agency news page within the country newsnet. So, when you're on your agency homepage, underneath agency resources, bottom of the left-hand column, it says brokerage insurance with a link to Aviator. So you'll click on that link and that's gonna take you to what I call our landing page. And this is gonna be where you can go to access everything and then drill down further for what you're looking for, as far as like information or an application. But on this home page, there's a lot of stuff you can do right from here. So you can request a certificate. There is our personal and commercial line eligibility list out here. So you can look and see what that appetite guide looks like. There is also a property casualty decline list. Brokerage can do a lot of things, but not every single risk we can write. That's going to be out here on this decline list as well. There is also a tile out here specifically for billing and commission. We do have a whole area for that. And then my favorite is your brokerage training. These are like little micro videos that just discuss high level about what we should do for each area of brokerage. So when you have time after your extensive training, go out here and take a look because they're really beneficial. As far as we talked about getting appointed today. So up here in this ribbon, there is a whole section that says get appointed. And that's going to be sectioned out per state. Now, as far as carriers, that carrier process will be the same, but each state might have a little bit different tweak to it. So again, that's what we're here for to help you with. But I just want to show you an example. So I think today I saw someone is located in Wisconsin. So you will drop down here into Wisconsin. And this is going to list out per product line. So you have your bonds, commercial, individual health. That's going to highlight our top carriers. So for example, we talked today, about our surety bonds, DNA, or, title bonds, Old Republic. So what will happen is when you're in this appointment area, you can drill down even further, and I won't do it just for time's sake, but if you click on the link here to the carrier, that's going to provide you either a document or an email or even sometimes a website to go to get set up underneath these services, which is brokerage. So that information is all outlined for you here. Today we talked about Progressive for your long and short haul trucking companies, for example. That process is out here as well when you click on Progressive. And this is the one that takes a long time, so make sure you do that. But that's how you get appointed there. And again, it just goes through each product line and then how to get appointed. Now, I do see a question popped up. Sorry, I didn't catch the name. Right? Sorry, I can't see on my screen. Yeah, that's okay. It's Jimmy. Jimmy has a question. Go ahead, Jimmy.
So do you have to get appointed in, like I'm in Oregon, so, and if I write a policy in Idaho, do I have to get appointed in that state as well? Or how does that work with the brokerage?
And I do want to mention, we also have a whole appointment area as well that specifically handles this. So we've got a lot of these parts of brokerage. But what would happen is we would get you appointed with a carrier at the carrier level. So let's say Progressive, for example, but you can submit your state license. And then we can appoint you with the different states for that carrier at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
Great question. All right, so I'm going to keep moving on here. So let's talk a little bit about products. Now, we went over a lot today. I know it's a lot of information, but let's say you are looking for, I don't know, let's say, to give me your example, example item. Let's say you're looking for personal line. So underneath item, you'll click on personal line. And let's say you're looking for flood insurance, which I mentioned earlier. Underneath personal line, you can simply click on flood. That could show you the carriers that we do have in brokerage. And today I don't mention flood, which was right flood. But it will list out here as far as how to get appointed, what that notification will look like coming back to you, and then how to quote and find it online. So again, this is just an example for today's purposes, but with everything out here, we do have an outline step 1 through 3, sometimes step 1 through 4, with how to get started, what that process is going to look like to get notified, and then how to quote and write that business. So I know that was a lot. I want to show another example. So again, come up here to product by state. I found some of you are in Illinois as well, just like our home office. So let's say you're looking for a commercial line in Illinois. And you want to write a special event because a wedding's coming up. So you'll click on special event and you'll see here that we do have that pay and pay insurance. I talked a lot, they write a lot of risk here, but you know, a couple of boards are up here. So they write weddings and festivals and concerts. So that in mind as far as, you know, what they can write is a lot. But again, this simply just shows how to get appointed, what that process looks like, and then how this will work. So trying over the years of the stands a lot, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible to just that and get to know your client and conversation for. One more thing I'll show you out here just for time's sake, but we do have a contact page. And these is divided out per area of brokerage and then with a functional email box. So this goes to a main email box. So that way someone can get in there and grab your something right away. So again, I will close out say by state. Don't ever hesitate to call us, mail us. We're here for you as a step of the way. We will walk through the processes and basically from start to finish because we want to get your clients the coverage they're looking for. So I know that was a lot, but actually, sorry, one last thing. Save this page to your favorite. If you are going to utilize brokerage, which I hope you do, you'll be out here a lot. Just make sure you start it. Your favorites. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we are going to give you some real-time practice here, working through different scenarios. I'm waiting for my slides to load here. Some real scenarios in real time when it comes to accessing the Aviator system. So, Nicole, I will turn things over to you, have the scenario loaded, and I'll let Bob get decided.
Thank you so much, Nikki. All right, everyone, in the chat box, I can post the link for Aviator. So go ahead and click on that because now we're going on a virtual field trip. Now, in our scenario, we have a client and they live in Illinois next to a river and they are concerned about potential flooding. So, using Aviator, I want to know how to find what you're going to write. So I want to hear the path that you take and the company, like what type of policy you're going to write for that is with the company. So once you find it, go ahead and raise your hand for me. Just a minute to do that. Vincent, you're back. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was quite cool of the answer right here. The first option is right for, just right there, go through, we also have the second option, which is the home.
Okay, how did you get there?
Brokerage, that's why state, personal lines, and then flood.
In Illinois too, right?
Yes, I know, I'm so sorry, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Congratulations. So let's hear what Sarah has to say.
Yep, you got it. Great job.
Everyone, let's give him a round of applause because we're going to be entering into our next scenario. Bum, bum, bum. Now, scenario 2, we have a client that's in Oregon. They are an independent long haul trucker. Sounds familiar from yesterday's session. So when you have the answer for the solution that you will write for this client, go ahead and raise your hand for me. Don't forget that we're going to talk about the path that you went to find it.
Ooh,
Yummy.
I gotta redo it again now. Shoot, went into the home, then product by state to Oregon, personal lines, and then clicked on commercial auto.
Okay. Survey says from Sarah.
That's correct. And then, yeah, that's the progressive. You got it.
Excellent. Everyone, please give Jimmy a round of applause. It is impressive. Daniel, was that high five? All right. This one, don't let it scare you. Third scenario. Scenario 3, we have a client. They live in Missouri. They offer a seasonal fall festival on their farm with rides, food, mazes, and games. So when you think you have the solution, please raise your hand for me.
Is there? Let's see. That would be commercial.
A little trip here.
Special.
Daniel's got it. Go ahead, Daniel.
Products by state, Missouri, commercial lines. Special event, it's Can.
Excellent job. Let's hear what our expert has to say.
Great job.
Woo! All right, everyone. I just want to say, I think you all got it. Sarah, it is time for us to bring this journey to an end. All right, Vicki, you have some resources to talk to us about, right?
Oh, I do. I'll just go over them quickly. I know you can all see this slide, and Sarah's touched on all of them already too. And hopefully you all have a great understanding of Aviator and everything it has to offer and where to find what it has to offer, and keeping that as a statement on your home page. But I hope you also see why I love that activity so much, because I think it's good for you to exercise your brain so that you can find different pathways for what you're looking for. I also find it interesting to look at how much we can offer through brokerage. So maybe you didn't realize that we could offer protection and coverage for a particular client. You're like, I don't know if I can prospect that because I don't think we can offer that. But by visiting Aviator and seeing everything that we have to offer, maybe now that's triggered some new business for you. Daniel, did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to wait to the end in case it would have got answered, but maybe it's obvious. Will a brokerage, policy also activate a multi-policy discount for a client?
Unfortunately, it will not. Sorry.
Understood. Business.
So just to be clear, I can go in and start, looking at a funding or go out things for funds, so all of these, brokers, so.
Yeah, we sure can.
Cool. Would you have that? Well, that brings me to my point. Since all of you are newly contracted, I would highly advise you take advantage of this time where you are not inundated with service phone calls and policy changes and single payments or out there marketing. This is the best opportunity to have right when you're starting out. Get those appointments filled out, as many as possible. You don't want to find yourself in a situation like I did one. I had a client come and say, hey, we're having a wedding at my house for my daughter and we need event insurance, but you're not appointed. And now you gotta send it to an agent who is, and you're leaving money on the table. You're losing out on that opportunity. So don't miss an opportunity because you didn't take the time to fill out the appointment up front and in advance. To go ahead and meet those clients' needs when they call you out of the blue. They will call you randomly. Hey, I need a bond and title insurance or some other things that they need that only brokerage can offer. So go ahead and get those appointments done as quickly as possible.
Because sometimes clients wait till the last minute, but you did not wait till the last minute. You've seen the screen now for a little while as we talked through it, the contact information on there, party practice, how to get aviator, the hours of operation for brokerage. Those are Central Standard Time, so be mindful of that. And Sarah showed you where to find the contact resources for different lines of business if you are interested in going that route as well. So if you have any other questions, now would be the time to ask them while we have Sarah. Anything else you're thinking of, or Sarah, is there anything else you'd like to add? And then we'll go with your question.
Yeah, just real quick, I know, yes, it's really about, just want to clarify, make sure I understood it. When writing, we don't have to get appointed in our resident state, with the non-resident states for licensing. That automatically, we have to get appointed in each one of those non-residents as well.
So, the non-resident, that would be, I mean, up to your preference. I mean, for sure, in your resident state, so you can do business. I would honestly recommend just do it up front, just so as Nicole stated earlier, like that way you're prepared. So if you're on the border of, let's say, Illinois, Missouri, just do both right away, just so that way.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
so exactly.
so I have appointed or non-resident, yes, but I don't know, when we get appointed on, say the commercial lines, I'll put rest weather to it. I know I also do that as well too. Okay.
Yep, I would,
Just say-
yep, and then just to extend on that just a little bit, so from like a health carrier standpoint, each state has different health carriers that we're contracted with. So to your point, we have Blue Cross of Kansas City, but we also have Anthem of Missouri. So so yes, it's all Blue Cross Blue Shield technically, but it's two separate carriers. So that's gonna be two separate appointments for each state, if that makes sense.
That's why I was.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't know if it's passed over where I won't, but that's fine. I just want to make sure, so.
Yeah,
I feel
so as
that's the
far
right
as
thing.
like, yeah, so as far as like, progressive, KK, that will all be pretty much uniform, and then just submit your licenses for the state. But from a health standpoint, that would be two separate processes, two separate, like. Great question.
Any other questions? Okay, we do have just a little bit of time left. I won't take us all the way to 10 o'clock and talk in circles, but I know at the beginning of class, I actually said if they had worked with brokerage, most answered no, or didn't answer, so I'm assuming that might be a no. But now using the chat, give me a yes if you have a business or personal lines in mind that you plan now to work with brokerage on after this session. Everybody says yes.
I like those,
Give
yeah.
it a thumbs up. Yeah. It's nice to know that these sessions are worthwhile for both you as, trainees and both Sarah as a subject matter expert for taking her time to share this information with us. So good